Hello class, we are in chapter 6.2 learning about electricity and magnetism. Yesterday we learned about force, we learned about friction, and we also learned about the gravitational force. Today what we're going to learn about the electrical force and the magnetic force. So first off, let's go to learn about the electrical force, the force of electricity. Electrical force causes electrically charged objects to either attract or to repel each other. That means electrical charges are either positive or negative. So it could be either positive or negative. As we have that in mind, the positive and the negative electrical charges, we do have to know a fact. That means if two objects with the same charge are brought close together, they will repel. That means they push away from. That means if you grab a negative and a negative object, what will happen is that they will repel, they will push away. It could be the other way. If you grab a positive and a positive charged object and you try to put them close together, instead of attracting, they will repel. Now, when are they going to attract? It's when two objects with different charges are brought together, they will attract. That means a positive and a negative different charges are going to attract. An easier way to memorize this is like charges repel, opposite charges attract. Let's go ahead and say that together. Like charges repel, opposite charges attract. Let's go ahead and say it one more time. Like charges repel, opposite charges attract. So moving on, now this is the force of electricity. Let's go and learn about the force of magnetism. First off, we do have to know about lodestones. Why do we have to know about lodestones? The first compass, a compass uses magnetism. The first compass was actually made with this stone, actually known as lodestones, because this stone itself has magnetism. So lodestones are pieces of naturally magnetized iron ore. So for the first compass, we actually use lodestones because they have magnetism. So moving on, every magnet has a north-seeking pole and a south-seeking pole. So every magnet has a north and a south. And at the same time, just like electrical forces, like poles will repel, opposite poles will attract. That means if you grab a north and a north, what they will do, they will repel. But if you grab a north pole and a south pole, what they're going to do, they're going to attract. So think about it as magnets. I know that most of you have played with magnets, but sometimes whenever you try to put them together, what will happen? They will actually repel. It's because you're grabbing the positive side to the positive side. But sometimes they will actually attract right away. It's because they are opposite sides. One is in the positive and one is in the negative. So moving on. We did learn how lodestones, how the first compass was made with a lodestone. That means a compass uses magnetism. So it's the most important use of a magnet. This is a fact that you do have to know, which is Christopher Columbus actually discovered America in 1492 using a compass. So anything that has any compass will actually have a force of magnetism because it is using a magnet. So that will be actually chapter 6.2. What you're going to do today is you are going to read chapter 6.2, and for your classwork, you're going to do the comprehension check for chapter 6.2. Goodbye.